to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. We've got Evelyn in here. She does the traffic for us on the regular show, and she's got a fight coming up this weekend. Today's going to be her last day in. You said a big part of that is cutting weight, getting ready for the fight. And was it super flyweight? Is that the weight class that you're in?
Yes, super flyweight,
Gosh, that's such a great
115 pounds.
name. Such a great name. I mean, how sexy and svelte does that class sound, huh?
Superfly.
Superfly. That's what I'm in. And she was saying something interesting as we were getting ready for the after the show here. I was asking, when she really started doing this, and she kind of got things going during the pandemic, but you said at the age of like 5, you just knew that you wanted to kick ass, and it kind of started in the backyard. It was just nothing really official, and you're just whooping ass just on your own time.
That's exactly how it started. For some reason, since I was 5 years old, I've wanted to fight, and I'm Mexican, so boxing is a big sport in our culture, and a lot of my uncles would get together and watch big boxing fights. And there was one of my uncles, he actually used to train. And I would always tell this specific uncle, I just want to do that. I want to do that. And I guess I bugged him so much for so many years. Every time there was a big fight or whenever I saw him, that when I was 12 years old, finally, he's like, all right, you clearly really want to do this. I'll train you. And he started training me in his backyard and just kind of showed me what he knows. And that's kind of where it all started. Eventually, he took me to a gym, Jbird Boxing Club, where that was my first gym. Yeah. It doesn't exist anymore, but that's where I started. And it was just history from that. I just love punching people.
I know. That's so funny. And the thing you're saying, there's so many similarities between you and my wife. And I call her the Mexican queen. She's Mexican as well. And she's always had an ass kicker in her. And she had uncles. She grew up with a lot of uncles. And they trained her to fight, and they would bet on her. So they had a backyard boxing ring. And so my wife was undefeated, whooped the shit out of everybody. And so they knew that. And they would bring whoever wants to take her on. And so she would fight boys, she'd fight whatever, she'd fight men. She just whooped everyone's ass, and they couldn't believe it. She loved it? She just loves it. She just gets charged with the thought of fighting. And we were at an event at, I think it was Coco, whatever that casino is, Coconut Creek.
Okay.
And we were there at an event. Amanda Nunez, I know they got, Top, the fighting academy that's there. And
American Top Team.
American Top Team. And Amanda Nunez, I think, trains there. And she's just a massive ass whooper. And she was sitting right next to us. And the whole time my wife's like, I think I could last. She's like, I think she would kick my ass. But my wife, seriously, I'm like, just not tonight. Please. The last thing I need is you're just for sport fighting Amanda Nunez. But she couldn't. She kept sizing her up. And my wife really wanted a shot at that. And she's like, if I were only 15 or 20 years younger. And my wife was kind of upset because they didn't have this for girls when she was growing up. She said if they would have had MMA and all that, my wife, I think, would have been you or Amanda Nunez, because she just has it in her. Some people, like you said, she loves punching people. She just has it in her. She's always fought, loves to fight.
I love it.
Probably part of its culture, part of its ingrained.
I was going to say that. It's also that Mexican blood. History-wise, we're known to be warriors, Aztec warriors. Right. So it's a part of us.
Yeah,
it's in your DNA.
It's in my DNA.
Literally, you can't help yourself.
Yeah. So it's so fascinating hearing your story. I'm like, man, you're just a younger version of my wife, and she really wishes she had that. And I'm so excited for you because just seeing what's happening. I was a girls softball coach for my daughter, and I grew up with a girl that she was really kind of a trailblazer in the WNBA and did really well. And so I've always been a big proponent of females in sports, and you're starting to get there. You really are. You got the Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, and they're making money. And you're saying now with how many women are fighting, and you even talked about what happened with that Jake Paul Tyson fight, that the best fight was 2 women going at it. It's so great to see because They just, look, I mean, it's great that women are breaking out of the mold and you're realizing they're putting on exciting sports. They go after it. Watching my wife fight or anything like that, it's amazing. And they go at it just as hard as the guys. And I think
it's not harder. I feel like,
yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but I feel like it's also like a thing where we have to prove too, just so that we can show. So I feel like we probably go a little bit harder because it's like, yo, we can do this for real.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, absolutely. And so I love that those opportunities, the doors are starting to open up. And you talked about you gone into a gym and they had all the fighters up there, but it's all men. Like, where are the women? And to start seeing that you've got somebody like an Amanda Nunes that you can watch and you can grow up and idolize and say, I'm going to be her. And then you'll start getting the Amanda Nunes and other female fighters up there, and I hope that you're one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, God willing, I will be.
Yeah.
I will be a world champion.
You said,
we'll see
your goal is 2 years to be a world champion?
At least 2 years, yeah. That's my goal.
How crazy would that be?
Does this girl have a chance coming up this weekend?
No.
You're going to fuck her up?
I mean, you know what? Let me be humble because I will say, like, the sport of boxing, it just takes one punch. There's always, everybody has a chance. It's boxing.
You get caught off guard and it gets you right in the right spot and you're dazed and look out.
Right. So you just never know. But what I can say, and I'm very confident in saying, is I am very confident in the work that I put in. There's no shortcuts when it comes to this.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's why I feel really confident. I say, like, no matter who they put in front of me, like, I will come on top because nobody works as hard as I do, the sacrifices I make, and also, like, the style. Even though I'm Mexican, and there is a thing where they say Mexicans have a certain style, like that Mexican come forward, they'll like to take a punch to give a punch.
Really?
No,
Okay.
I mean, there's different
You're
styles
the only one
with me.
doling out the pain.
Yeah, I'm able to do different, like, fight different styles and adjust, and I've just been putting in the work. So that's why I say I'm going to come out on top no matter who they put in front of me.
That's
I
amazing.
love it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
so cool.
the attitude.
Yeah, that is so cool. People like Josie are asking, when are you fighting? What are the details on this so they can come and watch you in your KVJ shorts as you're out there?
Thank you for my sponsors, the KVJShow.
Yay.
They'll be on my trunks. I'm
I
excited
love
to
it.
show you guys the trunks and the fight outfit. But it's going to be this Friday, December 6th at the Hard Rock. And I still have tickets available, so you can message me on Instagram at the Evelyn Romo. And I really wanted to shout out Heavyweight Promotions for the opportunity to let me fight on this card and showcase my skills to Florida.
Yeah, that's cool. When you talk about your tickets, does that mean that you would have a section? So if people went, they'd all be grouped in that area? How does that work?
Yes, I have currently 2 sections available. So
Okay, so KVJ Nationers would be sitting by the KVJ Nation.
We'll be sitting together. I'll be sitting in that section.
Yes.
Your sister, your family,
Yes.
all of the Evelyn supporters, we would all be sitting in that area. And it makes a difference to these promoters. How many tickets does Evelyn sell?
Right.
That predicts what other bigger fights they'll give you. So the more we support Evelyn, the more her journey will be faster to the top, to that world champion spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nate's want to know, would it be broadcast anywhere?
I don't believe
Any
it
streaming
will.
or anything?
No,
Now,
I don't think so.
We're going to get video and put a video together, but yeah, I'd like to.
Well,
Yes.
you will drunkenly see me putting it up on my own Insta story.
Okay.
So
Yes, of course.
there.
There we go.
Yeah.
If the details do change on if it will be streamed or not, I'll probably announce it tomorrow during weigh-ins on my Instagram or something if they end up streaming it.
Okay.
Mr. J said in the comments here, said, you got to bring in money, filling seats. That's how you get up there on those walls.
That's correct. Yeah,
It is correct.
That is very true.
So if we want to
Okay.
see Evelyn go places, which we do, we have to purchase tickets from her.
Yes.
Slide in those DMs, tell her what tickets you want, and come with us on Friday.
Yes, definitely.
Do you have a fight moniker? Is it just Evelyn Romo, or do you have like the Aztec princess, or is there?
Yeah, no, I do. It's limitless because there's no limit to what I could do in that ring and outside because when I was growing up, I always felt like I would limit myself into doing certain things. Like I wouldn't be able, I can't, if I'm fighting, I can't do this because of that. But now I don't see it that way. I'm able to do whatever I put my mind to. And I'm able to be a beast in the ring and then come out and be a girly girl, get my nails done, put my eyelashes on, do my makeup. There's no limit. There's nothing wrong with that, There's just no limit to what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So
I love
limitless.
it. I love it.
Cool. So cool. Best of luck. Can't wait to
Thank
see
you,
how
guys.
it goes. We're
Thank
going to
you,
follow your
guys.
career. If it's about putting butts in the seats, we'll do that for you so you can
Yes.
get up on that wall.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and shout out to KVJ Nation.
That's right.
Hey, Team Romo.
Evelyn.
That's amazing.
Limitless.
That's right. That's right. Very
All right.
cool.
Well, we'll see you Friday night.
See you Friday night.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, some people were saying you need to send Evelyn up to your dad's house to kick those people out.
I heard.
Yeah, Kevin's got some issues with his dad's tenants.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Your wife and I will take a little road trip.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Honestly, if those two Mexicans kick that door down, God bless the people inside. There would be hell to pay. Yeah, I might have to call you up on that. Thank you, Evelyn.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Again.
We know you're leaving to go train, and you're out for the whole rest of the week. So good luck.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right.
You're welcome. We're so proud of you.
Yeah, I do have a bit of an update that I'd let you know about. My dad, if you missed yesterday on the After the Show, out of the kindness of his heart, he's been that way. And he and my mom, when she was living, they kind of built up their house, and they liked to have and bring people in from the church. And that was, in a sense, that was one thing that they did as part of their mission, you know, to help people out, because they had the opportunity to do that. And so out of the kindness of his heart, there was a pregnant woman that had a child, and she was the victim of a domestic situation, was trying to call 911, and her boyfriend knocked the phone out of her hands. They said, we got to get her away from this. She's in danger. And so she wound up at my dad's house. The only problem was a couple months later, so did the abuser. So
he then shows up.
Yeah, he then shows up and has been living there. And they've been in my dad's house for just over a year now, living rent-free, utility-free, all that kind of good stuff. And as I went up there for the whole thing, I found out the dad has given away an exorbitant amount of money over the last year, and that included $17,000 for this guy to get a truck.
A pimped out truck.
It is nice. It's raised. It's a beautiful truck. Yeah.
And your dad doesn't even drive a nice car.
No, my dad has like a $3,000 car. So.
And let me guess, his dick face isn't going to pay it back.
No, I mean it was
no.
it was
There's
just,
no talk of giving back.
No, that's not even a
It's not even an option.
It's not a loan.
It's not a it was a gift.
He just did that for wow.
They live there free, and the car is free, and it's gift.
So not only are they taking massive advantage of my father, but it's crumbling my dad's mental health, because they have two young kids. My dad's not big with noises. He just is not a huge fan of kids, as some people are. And so they're always screaming and crying, and then you've got fights. So they still fight a lot.
The couple is fighting, and they're living in the upstairs part of the dad's house.
This is making me very angry.
Me too.
So my dad went to the woman, and he had said something, hey, you know, I would like to have you guys at a reasonable time find another place to live.
You
I
can't
just need
be
to get
here
my mental
anymore.
health back.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, well, we're looking at a trailer, a mobile home, and we just need $16,000 from you for that. And
From you.
On top of the...
Yeah.
So she's like, give me another $16,000 and we'll get out. And my dad's like, no, that's not going to happen. So he sent an email, well worded. My dad is an attorney, and he sent it to this woman and her man, and she responded with a thumbs up. He has not responded, and apparently is not addressing it. And I'm looking at the email that my dad had sent to other people, because I think he's now asking for other people to try to help get these people out of his house. And he said, you know, they've accumulated an amazing amount of material items. Now, this is a guy that didn't have a job until a couple of weeks ago. And my dad thought it was odd, because when I was there on that Friday, that guy had pulled up in that new truck. That's why I saw that. My dad's like, well, I don't know why he's not at work. He should, you know, he has a job that he left for today, and he's at home for some reason. Now, maybe his woman called him because my wife and daughter, and they are, you know, they want to get to the bottom of it. They were at the house first without my dad there, me there, or Cannon there.
They're feisty,
and
too.
They went and found her. And they said she seemed very intimidated.
She should be.
She was very nervous.
If Kim Ralston walks in the room mad at me, I would fucking be nervous too.
She came in bowed up, my wife did, and she's like, I'm getting down to the bottom of this shit. And so she went in, and apparently that girl was very nervous. And so she might have called feeling like she was in a risky situation, because there's no other help there. And clearly my wife's not going to do anything with a mother and all that kind of stuff.
No, but she's going to make them leave, maybe.
My wife's blunt, and she's forward. And she has no problem, like you. You guys are very similar. You would be right in there and be like, all right, let's talk about this shit. And,
let me tell you how it is.
Right, yeah. So she probably got a bit of that. And my daughter's very much the same way. So so he winds up at the house, and so I get to meet him, and I said yesterday, this guy has a grip that he could crush walnuts like nothing. He is very strong. He's country strong.
Well, let's see how he does against Kim and Evelyn.
Yeah, who knows? And I'm hoping, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't come to it. But he's saying that even the fact that this guy's not had a job, they've accumulated a massive amount of materials. They have filled the entire downstairs area and half of my garage. I have no idea how much stuff they might have upstairs because I don't go up there where their level is. So I can't imagine what they're going to do with all this stuff. But it's not going to fit in whatever mobile home they want to take it to. So I assume they're going to have to rent a storage unit for all this stuff. So that's it. I don't know what they've been accumulating, if it's good material stuff, but he, apparently, even though he doesn't have a job, he's been getting a ton of stuff, accumulating stuff.
Is he robbing and stealing, and that's how he has stuff?
Have no idea. Don't know. Like I said, this is going to be an onion that you're going to get little chapters and layers because there's not a lot of answers to this, and I don't have a lot of information. So what I get, I'll let you know when I get it.
He probably needs to get the police involved sooner rather than later and go on record saying, I want to have them out of my house and I don't know where all this stuff came from. I want to make sure this stuff isn't stolen because this stuff has no... I didn't know it was here. I'm Drew Ralston. This is my house. And possession is 9/10 of the law. Like, if it's in his house... Does it mean it belongs to Drew and now Drew has stolen goods?
Is it possible, too, that they're taking money from your dad from a certain other area he might not know about?
I don't know. Look, anything is possible. Look, when he told me how much money he's given away in the last year, I was like, wait, what?
It wouldn't surprise me.
What the hell are you doing?
If this dick face wasn't doing something else to take money from your dad without him even knowing it.
Yeah, because they're in your dad's house when your dad's not there. They have access to any bills that come to the house, which those bills have account numbers on them, and those account numbers can be hacked.
And the boyfriend's a dirtbag, and he thinks like a dirtbag, so he's always going to try to find stuff to fuck over your dad so he can get the money. Mm-hmm. That's all he'll be thinking about. You're right, all of his information's in there.
All of his information's in his house. Even though he told you that he keeps his important papers in a safe at work, it doesn't matter. When bills come to the house, this guy could be looking at any and all of your dad's account numbers and have already written them all down and copied them, and there could be already accounts opened in your dad's name that he doesn't even know about.
Yeah, well, like I said yesterday, there's many ways this can go, and I'm hoping it goes an easy way, and they're respectful, and they're saying, yeah, thank you for the year rent-free, and we'll do everything. My dad, even in his email, he provided people who are landlords and places where they could go and has tried to give them some options, so he's trying to problem solve at the same time, realizing this is it, and they're not natives of that area. They had just moved up there. Why they're still there, I don't know.
They're there because they've been given a free place to live and a free car. Yeah. And they're probably stealing money from your dad in other ways that he hasn't found out about yet.
Part of me makes me wonder, like, if this isn't a grift that they don't do, and they move maybe from town to town, and they, find people who have means and are nice.
And fleece them.
Yeah.
Then what they do in the end is they kill them.
Who knows? I don't know, Virginia.
I watch Dateline.
Yeah.
I know how these things end.
Mm-hmm. So we're at the beginning level of this, and the good thing about this is that my dad, when I had the heart-to-heart conversation with him, he agreed wholeheartedly, and he is right there, because I didn't know if I was going to have to try to maneuver around Dad to say, you're not in a good situation. I need to help you out of this.
He's over it.
Yes. So
but now, how do you get out from it?
Yeah, so we're on the same page. So, I'm kind of hoping that, this is going to move forward. I hope that they find a place quickly. I hope they're nice, and they tip their cap and say, man, thank you for all that hospitality, and it's all good, and they're gone, and I can get, my dad's place back to normal. We get it cleaned up, and he's going to be good.
I love that you are so sweet, and you think that way, and that is really wonderful that that's where your brain goes first. But you have to assume the worst and work backwards from there. Be prepared for this guy to not go quietly or easily, or for the damage to be way worse than your dad realized it was.
Yeah. So we'll have to dig down deep, and I need to, like I said, I don't want to be all up in my dad's business, but he made it my business when he told me how much money he's given away over the last year. And so I'll, continue to ask little questions about, okay, where did all of this money go? and to whom did this money go to. So it's a sizable amount. So try to figure that out. One email that I got about this, somebody thinks that maybe I need to set up cameras around Dad's house and maybe you can see what's going on. That might be a good way to do it. There are tech-savvy people that could do that. Are there any of them up in that neck of the woods?
Yeah, Rocco.
Yeah.
My son Rocco could go in there and outfit the whole place with spy cameras, and the guy would never find him.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. It's a decent idea. I don't know. We'll see. And it might be something I suggest to Dad, depending upon where this goes. We're at stage 1 right now. I'll see whatever this guy's response is. I hope that it is nice and they are really, truly working for it. I told Dad to give them a deadline saying that, hey, if you can't do it by then you got to go to wherever you came from. You know, if it's back to Florida or Texas or wherever the hell you came from, you got to pick up and you got to go. So you're not welcome here. And I think we're there. But if they push back, then it could get ugly. So we'll see. But I do appreciate all the emails. In fact, I think it was Panchita had sent me one. Just really, she did the work on it. She delved down into, okay, you need to, in Ohio, you need to contact these people. You need to talk to them. This is what you do.
She's good at research.
Yes.
She's a great human. She's
Yes.
very, very
Yes.
awesome and loyal.
We love her.
Yeah, so that meant a lot. So I do appreciate that. Thank you for that, Panchita. And I will be following up with all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot.
It's a giant project, but you got to do it because that's a dangerous situation for your sweet dad, who's very sweet and innocent and good-hearted and is being taken advantage of.
Yeah, yeah, and so we'll see. Based on this, and Angie brings up my next point. I haven't gone to yet with Dad, but he has guns, lots of guns. He'd be like, where are they, and are they well without the reach of this individual?
Yeah.
So,
He probably,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not that he would need them because he is much stronger than my dad, and so he wouldn't necessarily need that. But that is Dad's great equalizer in this when you're talking about somebody much younger and much stronger and faster than you.
But does this guy have access to your dad's guns?
Wouldn't hope that he would, but I want to make sure. And I would imagine Dad hopefully
coming
he's
and
thought about
going
that.
from the house freely, even when your dad's at work.
Well, you talk about me and how I get that a lot. That's from my dad. And so I need to take what I've learned living outside of that area with a bunch of good-hearted people to let him know, Dad, every now and then you run into some people that are not good-hearted. And if you have that situation, here are the kind of things that diabolical people will start thinking about. And so I want to take you down this path.
Have we inventoried all these guns in a while?
Dad knows exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's on that. That he always does. But we'll keep an eye on that. So it's an interesting saga, but it's a weird place. You get to a certain age where you realize now you are your parents' caretakers.
I thought I had drama with my mom. My shit is minimal compared to yours.
Yeah, it's
yours is massive.
A lot of people will probably have situations. Now, your mom is like my dad in the sense my dad is manic depressive. In fact, in his email, he talked about that. He goes from highs to lows. His mom had it, and I saw her. She was in mental hospitals in and out my entire childhood. So I got to witness that. So I know. That's why when I see in the eyes and all that stuff, I grew up with it. You could just tell. I could walk in a room, and I would look at my grandma and be like, oh, shit.
It's going down.
She is on it.
Yes.
Yeah. You just see it in their body energy and everything. And that's why, we played the Britney Spears clip today. And I'm like, I see it. And those people, they need help. They need a good person around them to help them through it. And through medications and good assistance, hey, look, they can be great. But man, when it happens, it happens. And I know your mom is dealing with that. And she's had a lot of ideas lately. And they typically do when they're riding high, baby. They've got a lot of thoughts. And
she sold a house.
Yeah.
And so she sold a rental property that she never should have had in the first place. So she came into a small windfall of money, $25,000.
Okay.
But do you know how fast she has spent that money?
Yeah, you could buy one guy a lifted truck.
She has spent $25,000 in about 6 weeks. It's gone.
Wow.
And now she's putting money on credit cards because she's manic. And I don't know, she's playing a shell game with everybody because now she's claiming that she had a $10,000 secret account that none of us knew about.
It's not true.
I don't know if it's true.
Is she buying stuff that's out over the top crazy, or stuff that she needs, or is it
Both.
a statue of a giraffe?
She's doing both. So she completely rewired her whole house, electricity to the tune of $16,000.
Was it needed?
I don't know.
So my question is it a bad thing if it's needed?
She's buying crazy shit on top of that. So she spent tens and tens and tens of thousands on home repair that was probably needed. But then she also goes out and buys groceries for strangers. She walks into the doctor's office and gives pies to everybody that works there, and they're all like, okay, thanks, lady." Like she's doing crazy shit. She's buying airfare, hotel.
Yeah.
She's traveling. Like, she never traveled. She never called me. She didn't call me for 8 years. Now she calls me 10 times a day. The last conversation we had last night at 9 p.m., she sang me all the karaoke songs she wants to sing when she's here for Christmas.
Oh, that must have been a treat.
Dry run.
Yeah. Well, you got to try it out first on the audience. You got to see how it hits.
This is a
Trust
person
me, I
that
tried some songs that didn't work.
this is a person that didn't call me for 8 years.
Yeah.
She can't stop calling me.
Yeah.
She cannot help herself. She's manic, and she won't go to the doctor because they're going to put her on meds, and she likes the mania.
Yeah, they do because it feels good. And I think sometimes the medications, and look, my dad had to go and for a while and find the right dosage, the right amount, because it does. It brings them down, and they feel
Right.
lethargic, and it's not a good feeling. They just feel like they're not alive.
They love the mania.
Yeah.
She loves riding high. She loves spending money.
It's probably like, when you have that perfect buzzbird and you're just like going, I feel great. I mean, imagine that. And you can always stay in that sweet spot. That's probably what it feels like for them. And they don't have any recollection. They have a blind spot to how crazy they're coming off and what they're doing.
No, she has no idea how
Dad's very
weird
much
it
so.
is to sing karaoke on a phone at 9 p.m. for an hour.
Weird that they want to give away money. And
It's visions of grandeur. It's
Yeah.
a part of bipolar. I don't know if your dad's bipolar. I know my
He is,
mom's
yeah.
bipolar. It's a part of bipolar. It's called visions of grandeur. And you just think you have endless amounts of cash.
Yeah.
And you think that the money's never going to run out and there's going to be no ramifications at the end of it. You think in your head that you can figure anything out because you also think you're smarter than everybody. It's a part of bipolar.
Yeah, and I also wonder too, when you get older, if it's something where you hear too often that seniors are the targets of these scams, and they're giving away large sums of money in the most ridiculous situations where they think they've got Toby Keith and they've just written a check for $25,000. There was that one woman who thought it was Elon Musk.
Yep.
And she gave him $25,000 thinking he was going to return $5 million to her, and nope, just gone. And that's the weird stuff, these kind of seniors when you get to a certain age. And what's making it worse, I even saw there was a girl on TikTok who was doing a dance by this really sick guy in a bed. She's like, just got on the wheel. And so you've got kids that are seeing this and like going, oh, if you can somehow get to an old person who's about to kick it and get on their will, then this is the way that I can continue to live without getting a real job, and I'll just keep spending what was their inheritance, maybe for kids that rightfully should get it.
Please tell me that video didn't have the person dying next to them.
Yeah.
It did.
The guy was in the bed. He looked like he was knocking on heaven's door, and she's a young girl, probably, I don't know, 19 or something like that,
Just got
cute
in the
for him.
will.
And she's like doing a will dance, doing like a TikTok dance next to this guy. Look who just got in the will.
Now, if he's there,
it's a joke?
if it's a joke.
I don't think it is.
I'm totally cool with that. I get. But if you're really dancing basically on someone's grave, I just got in the will.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
It's real
That's
sick,
sick
but
talk.
look, I mean, that's what people are seeing, and they're saying, wow, that's a great idea. I'm young, I got looks. Who can I find that's old?
Scammerize. It's like glamorizing scamming people.
Yeah, right. And so, these are how things like this start. And I'm starting to observe it. I always wonder, I'm like, who are these? Why are these old people giving away their money? There must be something that happens to you mentally at a certain age that you just lose that faculty and that understanding that you had, that wherewithal when you were younger, and you're just writing checks that you can't cash. And next thing you know, your money's gone and you still need some. It's sad
It's very sad.
because there's no way for them to make that back. The good thing, though, your mom's making good deals. She got a procedure that would have been $10,000 for $600. So,
But
So-
we're saving money.
I'm trying to figure out what she did, and I still haven't got the full story. But you know how if you go to dental school to get your teeth cleaned, it's cheaper?
yeah.
I think my mom went to LASIK eye surgery school And
jeez.
they're doing this experimental LASIK eye surgery, and they talked her into being in this study.
Yeah.
And so she would get, LASIK eye surgery, which is amazing. It's normally like 10 grand. They told her she could get it for $600, and she was like, "Sign me up."
Oh boy.
So she did that. I was listening in as she was on the phone at her eye school yesterday. I was listening to the doctor, student doctor, regular doctor, don't know. But he was like talking to her, and I guess one eye took, but the other eye hasn't taken yet.
What does that mean?
I don't know, because
Took.
I had LASIK.
Yeah.
It's immediate. Like, as soon as you sit up from the laser being on your eye, you can see the clock across the room. Like, that's how LASIK is supposed to work. So my mom's one eye is now good, but the other eye hasn't taken yet.
Mine was my vision was slightly blurry in the one eye, and it took a little bit. It just kind of it's how when you wake up in the morning and sometimes you open your eyes and it's a little it was kind of a little bit like that. But then it just as the time went on, it was clear, and by the very next day I was all good.
It's been weeks.
Oh. All right.
Why did you get LASIK? Well, you couldn't see from a short distance? What was going on with your eyes?
Yeah, I had astigmatism in one of them, and the other one was fine, and so I got it done because I was at the point where, I squint now, but it's because the other eye now is after 10 years degraded, and I need
It's
to
a
go get that
wonderful
work on.
procedure.
It is, yeah. Mine was great. If you go to the right person, that's why when I talk about my, Panu laser, I'm like, okay, because you cannot go to the cut rate guy, because I always see on the news, and people are like, "Hey, man, this is risky." Yeah, it's risky. There are a lot of botched jobs out there when it comes to LASIK, and that's why you don't just go to anybody. You don't go to one that's going to be like, "Oh, it's only $600."
She went.
Yeah, like if somebody's doing that for like massage school, that's great.
Haircut, yeah, massage. I'm good with all that.
The massage school, you can really get the good deals on.
Yeah,
LASIK
massage I'm good with.
eye?
Yeah, LASIK, no.
No.
Yeah, when it comes to my eyes, no. I want to do the good stuff. Anything else, maybe I'll do the $650 or the $550. Eyeballs, no. And if you're saying even with good places, they can botch it up.
I don't know of good places that do. I mean,
Okay.
and they may. I'm saying that there are
It's
a lot of
still
botched
risky.
jobs,
Yeah,
but there are
yeah.
places that you would expect. That's why
Right.
you go to a good place. Yeah, I mean, my guy, I don't think is, there's no stories, no records, no nothing. And yeah, if something came out, I'd be like, gosh, you can't really endorse somebody like that. So, and I've been with them for 10 plus years, and there's not been one story. And I keep an eye out, with all your clients.
Keep an eye out. Look
Got
at
it.
that.
See what I did there?
Pun intended.
See what I got there? So, now Brandon had said here, Virginia, a couple things that might be of value. Look to establish medical proxy as the medical power of attorney, and not hospital or physician specific, but instead general document that can help with records and info. You should be able to then just flash those documents to any facility to get what you need. Make sure to update the power of attorney authorizations. It can be acting or durable powers, meaning only for a circumstance or only active upon incapacitation.
Yeah, we had that. I had medical proxy with all of her individual physicians, general practitioner, psychiatrist, psychologist, all of it. And then she went back in and took me off everything. So when she started spiraling, I tried to call her psychiatrist, and I was informed that I no longer was allowed to get any information about her medically because she purposefully took me off.
Yeah, and that's what's tough. And that's why I'm trying to remain a partner in this with my dad, and you never know. And I don't think he would do that. But that's the challenge, is you're trying to help them, that they can set up roadblocks and massive hurdles. And what do you do when they've set them up? And it's a fine line, because, look, the people who work at these places, they don't know, and they're just going on. They have to assume that you're a person trying to take advantage of them.
Well, they have to, by law, respect the wishes of the patient unless the patient is incapacitated or medically deemed not to be able to by a court. I didn't have power of attorney. I didn't have all those legal things. I don't live in Texas, so now I have to go out to Texas to get that done.
Right.
And that's a whole project that it's going to be a little tricky to do right now. But I think me and my sister both have to go out there and do that.
Sister.
But she's going to fight us.
Yeah.
She does not want us to have power of attorney, because then that means that we know everything that she's up to. And she doesn't want us to know everything she's up to. She doesn't want us to know about all the spending. My mom hired a life coach out of California. She bought all these pills on with this life coach, and they shipped them to the house. And she didn't clear them with her doctor. Like, it's probably stuff that she shouldn't even be taking, considering all the other medications. She's currently in AFib, which means her heart is not pumping correctly, and she could have a stroke at any minute. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot.
It is a lot. So. It's all there. I think the one wish I'd have for anybody, because I saw my dad have to deal with his dad, is you just hope that somebody ages gracefully and they just go away in their sleep, or it's just nice and quiet and you don't have all this drama, because it can be. So I guess in a sense, if you've had a loved one pass and it was quiet, congratulations, because we're all going to pass. Father Time is undefeated.
One of the few things we all really have in common.
That's true. We're all going to die. We're all going to die.
We're all going to kick it.
That's the way it goes.
How do you go out, though? Do you go out in a dumpster fire?
Right.
That's trying to destroy everything?
Mine's going to be so long and drawn out and so not normal.
So on brand.
Yeah.
Yep. This is interesting. Got this from Smita, who sent this in, who looked up the Swedish candy that we had this week, and I tried yesterday, and my gosh, it was just something.
It was next level repulsive.
Sven Skavlar is described as the saltiest licorice in the world. The name means Swedish bastards.
Yeah, it fits.
The salmiak is the ingredient that hits first, and it was. As soon as I bit into it, it was like battery acid was coming out of it. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I felt like I was being poisoned or I was eating a chemical agent. And then my teeth started to hurt. I'm like, what is going on?
And then you ran.
Well, that's when
to
I
the
ran.
Garbage can, and you slipped and fell.
Well, I ran for that stop. I was so discombobulated with it. I was in a panic because I really thought that I was being poisoned. Because I'm like, why are your teeth hurting? I've never been in anything that immediately made my teeth hurt. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die.
I got to get this out of my mouth.
And then I'm like, I don't know, maybe I can handle it. So I stopped, and then that's when I ate it.
Sometimes people say, oh, you guys are just acting like it's that bad. Just doing it for the radio.
Bullshit.
That is the grossest thing I have put in my mouth probably in 3 years.
Order it online. Try it with your friends. I guarantee you it will fuck you up.
You're not going to take a bite and go, well, this is really awesome.
Yeah, they're a bunch of bitches.
And it's a weird thing because it's all, natural stuff: sugar, molasses, wheat flour, coconut oil, potato flour, grapeseed oil, things like that. It's also vegan, but they have found the perfect concoction of these natural ingredients, put them together to make it just taste like you're eating battery acid.
The worst thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. But one of the worst things I've tasted in at least 2 years.
Worst thing this week, but again, we're only halfway through it.
That's not the worst thing I've done.
Yeah, not the worst thing. People want to know, yesterday, Jbird, you were not with us, unfortunately, because you had to go and talk to the doctor about your hip. Did any updates come from that?
Not too many updates, other than the fact that I'm going to get the cost of everything within a week or a day or so. So that's pretty much where we're at right now.
Any idea about insurance and how that coverage might go?
None.
Okay, not yet.
Not at all. I'll let you know, though, what the price is and all that. Because people have been asking me, and I've been asking other people. It's just different for everybody.
How definite are you that you're going to get this hip replacement procedure done? What do you think in your mind right now?
I don't know yet.
No.
I'm not sure really taking it a day.
Cost will probably let you immediately know.
Yeah, cost. And I just, I'm trying to do this pain management, although I don't know if it's flipping around a lot.
Doesn't feel, from my observation, I'm not a doctor, mind you, but
when you scream out in pain and jerk all over the place, it seems like it hurts.
But when the other thing is, though, I also still live an active lifestyle, and I've probably pushed the limits at times where I felt good. Which when I got that shot in the back, that was part of the pain management, and it did. It absolutely helped me. But I also still I want to still do stuff. And that's all. That's what it comes down to. I wonder if there's a reason that it's still not quite. It's pretty bad.
Oh, I mean, you can just see you grimacing, and you can tell how much pain that you're in day to day. from
Yeah.
your expressions and screams.
Right.
Cries out.
Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not always observant, but I have noticed.
I'll be over here trying to do the dirt of the day.
Well, I was talking. I was in the middle of telling a story, then all of a sudden I got the worst Charlie horse right in my leg, hip area. I'm going, that song by Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. With my untrained eye, I've observed that you may be in some pain.
It's a little distracting. It's not making me great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I should have answers soon.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully we'll get to that. And we'll put personal drama behind us, and we'll get to other things. And there's a lot of other things to talk about, but want to give you some updates and the places where we'd had them. You said your sister is going to be in Virginia.
Yes, I'm picking her up today. She gets in at 2:00, and then she can also come tell some fun stories because she was just with my mom in San Antonio, and they're going to be here. My mom and her husband and my sister and my brother-in-law for Christmas. They're all coming to Florida.
Right. And I think what we need to unpack, because people want to know what is going on with your mom's husband, Frank, and why is this not something where you're going to him and he's not managing this and handling it himself? So we can talk to your sister and kind of get a little bit of a feeling about all that.
Yeah.
We can learn a little bit more about Frank, maybe. Is that okay to talk about that?
Frank is the most fascinating character in all of this whole story.
Yeah, so we'll paint a vibrant picture of Virginia's mom's husband, and then you'll probably, figure out why she's handling it the way she is. So, yeah, we'll get to that. So we got some more fun stuff coming up.
Cool.
Families, aren't they fun?
Non-stop entertainment. I appreciate all your emails. We will definitely get through those. We've still got 2 more of these after the shows this week. Send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.